are focusing on prelim examination. In modern syllabus that is changed after 2011, that is for 2011 onwards examination, this scheme is followed. Preliminary examination is divided into two papers and every candidate must give all these two papers. It is not that first paper I am going and second no. We have to appear for both the papers. Out of that, preliminary scheme is divided into two parts, that is paper 1 and paper 2. They are 200 marks. Both papers are of 200 marks. Now, in these 200 marks, the time given is both way 2 hours. So, in both of the cases, we have 2 hours time, and number of questions here for paper 1, 100 questions are there. For paper 2, 80 questions are there. Total there are 400 marks, and selection is based on the total of 400 marks, but individual cutoff they are also there. So at the same time we have to take care of individual cutoff marks as well as total marks. In case of paper 1, this is I am mentioning here paper 1, it is of general study. We are calling it a GS. Now general study is important part. Here we have to study out various subjects in detail. Approximately 12 standard CBSE board knowledge is required, approximately. Let us check out the subjects here. They are physics, chemistry, biology, these 3 subjects from science stream. Then 4th subject is also there from science stream, that is environmental science. But here geography skill is also required. So I am revising 4 subjects first. They are physics, chemistry, biology and environmental science. These subjects are there from science stream. Then from art stream, we have economics. Maybe possible one can call this from science, from commerce side also. But let us check out instead of marking label, that is economics. Then second, Indian polity. So we are calling here Indian polity. In general terms, we can call this as civics, or we have to study out political science. So that is Indian polity, second subject. Then geography. Now in some books they are mentioning out history as a single subject, and in some book they are splitting out, say history means from ancient history to modern part, and then national freedom struggle, that is separate paper. Actually with my knowledge national freedom struggle must be part of history only, but they are considering these 2 papers as separate, that national freedom struggle, that is 1857 onwards and before 1857, like that 2 parts. So before 1857 we are calling as history, and after 1857 we are calling as national freedom struggle. Then obviously important part is there, that is current affairs. So all these papers are there from arts side. So total we have 10 subjects. I am listing out physics, chemistry, biology, environmental science, these all 4. Then Indian polity 5th, economics 6, then geography 7, history 8, national freedom struggle 9th, and lastly 10th, that is current affairs. But papers or questions are not sticking out directly to the subject. Maybe mixed subject or mixed knowledge is also tested. Apart from that, your application mind, that is also tested. So all questions are objective type questions. You should not give any descriptive answer. You have to select only either A, B, C, D, like that. But important thing is that all questions, whatever we are going to discuss here, these all questions, they may belong to only single stream or maybe mixed stream or maybe your application part, that is also tested. Now second, that paper 2, okay, just let me complete first that paper 1, total 2 hours are there, that means 120 minutes are there, and in 120 minutes we have to solve 100 questions. That means as 200 questions are there and all questions carries equal mark, you have to give 2 marks for question. Now here negative marking is also there, because suppose you are going to select wrong option, then penalty is there. For 3 wrong answers, marks of 1 questions are deducted from your score. Suppose you are scoring 100 right answer, out of 100 you are selecting out 50 right answer, so your score becomes 100. But suppose you have 6 wrong answers, then 2 questions mark, 1 question carry 2 marks, so here 4 marks are deducted from your score, so your score will become 100 minus 4, that is 96. So this way penalty is there for wrong answers. Now individual cutoffs are there, and time to time cutoffs are also going to change. Now we are focusing on paper 2. Many people calling this as CSAT. No, actually name of paper 1 plus paper 2 is CSAT, that is Civil Services Aptitude Test. But this part is also checking your aptitude. Here we have to study out important thing, that is comprehension. Comprehension is really important part. In given para, how you are able to understand that para, that is important. Here short passages are there and somewhat long passages are there. Not extreme long passages are there in this part. Passages belong to any subject, and usually scattered passages are there. Say for example, one passage will be there from economics, another will be there from geography, third one may be from environmental science, fourth one may be from other any side of current affair, like that. So different passages are there, and on basis of passages multiple choice questions are there. Now these passages are printed on one side of paper in English and other side in Hindi. That's why we are not calling this as English comprehension. Now it depends from which part of India you belong. Suppose you are belonging from Hindi speaking zone and you are fluent in Hindi, then you can check out this passage in Hindi and give answer in Hindi. There is no problem, because you have to only darken the circle. So which language you are referring, that is not question in this part. But suppose you are not belonging to Hindi speaking zone, that means you are not fluent in Hindi. What is my suggestion? Don't try to read Hindi passage, go to English passage, because that Hindi used is somewhat of higher level. And so if you are not belonging to mother tongue Hindi or you are not fluent in Hindi, then go for English part only. And so in other words, we have to consider this as English passage only. But we have one of the option, that in case of English, suppose you are not getting meaning of any particular word, and if you are having knowledge of Hindi, then you can check out that in Hindi. So that's why we are calling this as only comprehension and not English comprehension. Here usually around, I am using word around, 50% paper is focused on this comprehension skill. So I am not able to give you guidance or suggestion that ignore this part in paper, because this is the most important part of paper. So you must practice out comprehension skill for this part. The second part here, that in paper 2, that is decision making and problem solving, along with communication skill, interpersonal communication, etc. Now this part is really important, because here only negative marking is not there. So think always positive. Usually 8 questions are there. Gradation marking scheme is there. Nobody is 100% right, nobody is wrong. Say 80 questions and 200 marks. So each question carries 2.5 marks. So the maximum right answer is allotted 2.5 marks, then 2 marks, then 1.5 mark, and least possible answer is scored 1 mark. So here on attempt of exam, attempt of this question, you are going to select at least 1 mark, at least. Suppose you are so brilliant, then you can select 2.5 marks also. Now then decision making, problem solving like questions, then obviously important part, that is data interpretation. Data interpretation, that is having usually graph or a tabular format data, and questions are asked on basis of that. So knowledge of simple arithmetics also tested in data interpretation also. Apart from that, separate topic is there, that is simple arithmetics. As name indicate, it's simple, but your presence of mind and logic is also tested. Then next part of this, that is logical reasoning and analytical reasoning. And lastly, we have to go for English comprehension. Why I am specifying English comprehension? Because Hindi translation of this passage is not there. But in 2014 examination, some students were arguing that English comprehension should not be there, and ultimately government accepted that. And for 2014 examination, English comprehension is removed from paper. But it is actually very, very simple comprehension, just of 10 standard English, 10 standard level English, they are going to test. For previous year's question paper, what is my recommendation? That visit site that again, that is upsc.gov.in, and you can check out previous year's question papers. They are available with answer keys on that site. So just check out upsc.gov.in and you will get the previous year's question papers on that with answer key. So you will get idea the way questions are asked and the way we have to find out answers. So this is about scheme of preliminary examination.